At the Santa Monica Pier in Los Angeles County, you can see how the flags are waving. Among the countries that once had sovereignty over California, you'll find the flags of the United States, England, Spain, Mexico, the Republic of California, and Argentina. Hey, what are you doing there? Well, because not only do they have 3 cups and a pope, but also the Argentine flag was once raised there, about the state with the highest GDP in the United States. How was the brief but effective Argentine conquest of California? Are you interested? Alright, then stay until the end of the video. Can you imagine how your own voice would sound speaking Chinese, German, or Urdu? With Bright, it's possible. It's the most affordable and accessible AI-powered dubbing and video editing platform on the market. Do you have a business project where you need to create videos? Bright translates your content into dozens of languages in seconds. Click on the link in the description and the first comment to get a 20% discount with my code Sebas20. First, let's set the scene. 1816, Argentine independence is declared in Tucumán, marking the official birth of the United Provinces of the Rio de la Plata, despite their scarce naval resources. The country's first leaders needed to harass Spanish trade as a way to secure independence. And why not? To show the world that they had become a sovereign country. Subscribe. So, an expedition was planned aboard the frigate Argentina, which aimed to strike Spanish trade routes, capture some of their ships, and show that the emerging country existed on the international stage. The man in charge of this project, the French sailor Hippolyte Bouchard, was inspired by the Republican ideas after the French Revolution. And of course, taking advantage of the opportunity to advance his naval career. Bouchard then became an officer of the United Provinces of the Rio de la Plata, receiving the letter of marque. That is, he was not a pirate acting for his own benefit, but was authorized by the Rio de la Plata government to attack Spanish commerce. Thus, his expedition set out on July 9th, 1817, heading toward Madagascar. Bouchard's expedition arrived in September 1817 in Madagascar, which at that time was an independent kingdom known as Imerina. And why venture into the Indian Ocean instead of attacking positions in America first? Well, because the idea was to reach the Spanish Pacific, an area that was much less defended and with little effective Spanish presence. The African island was a stopover, a resupply point before heading to the South Pacific where the Philippines were located. Its importance lay in the fact that it was the center of Spanish trade in Asia and a hub of the famous Manila Galleon, making it a key part of the Spanish economy. On the way, he passed through places like the Dutch East Indies, where his fleet attacked Spanish ships trading in Indonesia. Once in the Philippines, he temporarily blockaded the San Bernardino Strait, then set course for Hawaii, arriving in August 1818. At that time, the Hawaiian archipelago was an independent kingdom ruled by King Kamehameha I. Who recognized the Argentine flag as that of a sovereign state, allowed him to use the port, and a trade agreement was signed. Sweek, Hawaii, a country that no longer exists thanks to you-know-who, was the first state to recognize Argentina as independent. Later, the expedition set out for California, which at that time was part of the Viceroyalty of New Spain. Their objective was the city of Monterey, the capital of what was then the province of Alta California. Once in the bay, Bouchard demanded the surrender of the local presidio. When they refused, he landed with his men and took the city on November 24th, raising the Rio Platense flag, which remained flying for 5 days. After this victory, he set a new course, attacking more Spanish positions along the western American coast, including Acapulco, Sonsonate in El Salvador, and the blockade of the port of Realejo, Nicaragua. Yes, for this reason, the Central American flags are similar to the Argentine flag since they were inspired by the banner raised and the frigate that supported them in their fight for independence. After a series of successful campaigns, Bouchard arrives in Valparaiso, where he is captured by Cochrane after being accused of piracy, although he is released after a few months. Although Bouchard's feat wasn't especially significant militarily, it was certainly symbolically powerful. Despite not having an immense fleet, he put several military positions in check. Therefore, the moment when Bouchard acted gave international visibility to Argentina as a sovereign state. Besides 3 cups, tango, and a pope, they have Bouchard,